Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader. It's Wednesday night, February the 2nd, and these are the charts of the day. Another big day in Wall Street, but more of a consolidation day. But it seemed to be a lot of stocks that we follow had big days today. Here's a couple examples. ALJ up 65 cents or 8%. On big volume, that's the third consecutive high volume day with strong surge in technicals. You'll see that 3 days in a row after breaking out of this little wedge. The stock popped, and again today. Looks like it may be a little ahead of itself short term and could pull back to retest, but momentum could take this one to as high as the 9.5 range, our trading target. ARMH, strong semiconductor stock, as you can see, broke out. Little base here, popped, flagged in late December, and since then has been motoring up, but did reach a peak last month, form a two-week pennant or coil, and then broke out today up another $1.58 or 5.8%. 14.7 million shares, has the heaviest volume in a couple weeks. Technical surging. Stock is at the top of its short-term channel. May find some resistance up in this 29 zone, which is what my target was on it, but looks like it has momentum and could move forward. AVL, a member of the rare earth group that moved nicely today. This big move in December, followed by this pullback channel, was broken slightly, and then today it started to accelerate, up 64 cents or 11% on 4.9 million shares. That's the heaviest volume in about 3.5 weeks. At this point, it looks like a run up to test the $8 range could take place, but my trading target on AVL is 10. BioLays, beautiful flag formation after the base breakout here, was broken today with a thrust of 49 cents or 16.3% on 2.5 million shares. At this point, I would look for more upside, and I have a trading target at about 4.75. BSFT had a spectacular session of 458 or 16.3% on 1.25 million shares. That's the heaviest volume in about 6 weeks, but it firmly broke out of the trading range it was in with a thrust, and we should see some follow through to get this into the high 30s, in my opinion. Up next is DataLink. DataLink has been accelerating after this big pop here, followed by this falling wedge. It popped again, pulled back for 4 days in the low volume pullback. Technicals held up well. The stock has snapped back to new highs, up 43 cents or 6.5% today on nearly 400,000 shares. But look at the unbalanced volume. It tagged a new high for the year, as did price. This is a multi-year high going back about 3.5, almost 4 years now. Trading target up around 9.25 at the at this line up here. EEE. Well, folks, this has had a spectacular run of late, with the big pop from about 65 cents up to nearly $3. A coil set in. The stock broke out today, up 51 cents or 18.5%. 5.7 million shares, the heaviest volume in about 3 weeks. Technicals are surging on balance volumes at new highs for the year. I'm looking for a move that takes it up to test this level around the 4.75 area. Up next is EXEL, a swing trade of ours. Idea broke out today, reaching 982 before backing off. Still up 30 cents on a day. 2 million shares traded. I'm looking to see the stock accelerate and get up towards 11.5 to 12 zone. My next trading target for EXEL. EXFO also beginning to move and accelerate, coming out of a ascending coil. Today up 32 cents or 3%, but just starting to get going, and key to today's actions that took out the spike high from January and could make it up to the $12 range, my short-term trading target for EXFO. Swing trade pick LNG, Chinary Energy, also has been moving the last 3 sessions from about the 675 range up to 849 today. Closed at 821, up 44 cents, 5.6%. 5.25 million shares today, the heaviest volume in about 4 weeks. Looking for an acceleration that takes us to 10.5 and then 13. Those are my 2 trading targets going forward on LNG. Big day for MCP, along with the other rare earths, up 465 to 53.25, closing at the exact tick high of the day. 4.25 million shares. Stock looks like it wants to move right back up to test the 60-62 zone. And beyond that, a longer term or intermediate term target in the mid to high 70s could take place. That's our secondary target at the top of the channel. MGIC. Spectacular session of 15%, $1.22 on 4.75 million. That's the heaviest volume we've ever seen in the stock, going way back. And it's broken out above this trading range into a key long-term resistance zone. If it gets through here, we can see this accelerate and get up to the 11.5, 12 zone. Nano has been acting well in the last 3 weeks. After this big pop and pullback, that's where we put a swing trade buyout on it right here. It's moved from about 16.5 up to 19.46. My trading target was 19.5. We came within pennies of that today. At this point, I think it accelerates and moves up higher to the 22 to 23 zone, perhaps, something of that nature. NVIDIA continues to move forward and is starting to approach my $27 swing trade. It hit 26.17 today, backed off, but still closed up at $1.11 and broke out of this little wedge pattern. You can see the top of this lateral price resistance at the top of the short-term channel come in around the 27-28 zone. REE, another solid rare earth metal stock today, jumped $1.83. We traded that today. It did very well, and volume increased to 6.7 million. And it's the heaviest volume in about a week. So looks like this could accelerate. I'm looking for a retest of the 17.5 zone short term on REE. SCOK, a swing trade idea of ours, after breaking out in December, late December, and heavy volume, and then running into January, it backed off in a wedge pattern. Today it started to move again, 530,000 shares, up 61 cents or 5%. Looking for a retest of the 14 range, secondary target about 17.5. Superconductor has been a monster the last 2 days and moved from $1.60 to $3.14, nearly doubling. Today, again, a very strong session on heavy volume. 6.5 million shares, and with the key overhead resistance at 385, we'll set that as our short-term target. Silicon Graphics. 2 things about today. Number one, the volume accelerated, so did the price, and it broke out of this wedge pattern. More importantly, after the close today, they announced spectacular earnings. The stock's trading around 12.5 in the aftermarket. I expect that will be tested and taken out, and we could see the stock move up towards 14 over the next couple of days. STEC, one of our swing trade ideas, had another important breakout today. The wedge pattern here was broken with a bit of a thrust in volume. That volume picked up to the best in about 8 trading sessions. 2.5 million traded up $1.15 or 5.4%. At this point, it's right at the January high, and a move here could get us to the top of the channel near 26. And lastly today is TZOO, which continues to act great since we picked this several weeks ago, and it with a $50 target that was exceeded. Secondary target of 55, but has been raised to 60, 62 now. It may even reach as high as the high 60s if momentum is strong enough and volume kicks in. Today was a good day, heaviest volume more than 2 months, and took out the 52.71 January high. So looking for higher prices on TZOO. And that's it for this evening. Have a good day tomorrow.